Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar on the process or on how to enhance your productivity with Zoho Writer's mail merge. So today we'll be discussing the process of the mail merge features in Writer, the different types of templates that you can use in Writer and the data sources used, and mainly the various merge fields that can be used in the document. We'll also be discussing the types of outputs that can be achieved. The first thing here is the slide deck, which will act as a placeholder to explain the features, and again a live document that we'll be working on today. So this is the output that we'll be creating, and I'll just give you a showcase on give you a quick preview on how the document will look at the end of the webinar. So this gives you an idea of what we'll be doing throughout the webinar here. So we are recreating an event ticket using Zoho Writer's mail merge. It constitutes of multiple fields like the name, email address, or it could be formula fields, or even barcodes and QR codes. So it'll be a step-by-step process, and I'll be explaining all the features throughout. So starting with what is mail merge? So mail merge in Zoho Writer is a feature that allows you to create multiple personalized copies of a document using a single template and a data source. So this feature is useful when you need to send out multiple emails to multiple individuals, but with different content into it. So the main process here involves setting up a data source, creating a template and inserting multiple merge fields of your preference into it, configuring an output on how you would like to send it to, and then initiating the merge. So starting with connecting data source, the first step is to connect your data source to Zoho Writer. So you can use data sources like Zoho CRM, Zoho Sheet, or even upload a CSV file. Next, we have your merge fields. So you need to insert merge fields into your document. So merge fields are just placeholders that will be replaced with actual data from your data source. Next, you have configuring the output. So once you have inserted the merge fields, you can configure the output settings like the format of the output, the name, or even the folder location, or the email address that you're sending it to, and henceforth. And then initiating and previewing the merge. The final step is to do this or just preview the document that you would need to. So like in the upcoming slides, we'll be explaining all these steps uh, detailed, but now just giving a quick agenda on what we're doing. So we have the data source. There are multiple data sources that can be chosen from. So once you have set up the template, you have Zoho CRM, you have Zoho Creator, you have Zoho Forms. You can input your data from a CSV file or even a JSON file. So before we go to the data source, first you'll have to create a blank template. So go into your Writer dashboard. And just a quick information. So this webinar is being recorded. So the recording will be shared to all the attendees along with any questions that you raise through the webinar. All right. So starting with the templates, if you click on create new, you have three options: a merge template, a fillable template, and then a signed template. So merge template is nothing but a template that is created and merged using a data source. So just a merging action is done and the output of your preference. Next, we have fillable templates in which the end user that you are sending it to will be able to fill the document. So you'll be inputting fillable merge fields in the document. So it could be like a drop down field or any field of your preference, but the end user that you're sending it to will do the process here. And the next thing is a sign template. So as the name states, so it would be a sign workflow process. So you'll be sending the document for signature once the merge is done. So we are using a merge template in this specific example, and the data source that we're using is Zoho Forms. Whereas you have multiple data sources. Let me just give a quick idea. So you have uh, CSV or JSON, and then you have Zoho contacts. So just the contacts that you have for your specific Zoho account. Next, you have Zoho Sheet, where within a spreadsheet, you have data. Next, you have Zoho Forms, which I'm making use of in this specific session. In Zoho Creator, Zoho CRM, or you'll also be able to set up custom data sources on Deluge. Next, you have Zoho Begin, but also within various Zoho's applications, we have people, recruit. So even all these contain merging options. So in these specific applications, so you'll have the option to create a template within these applications, so services, and you'll be merging and sending out your documents outwards. So for example, if you use Zoho People, you can send out increment letters to multiple individuals at the same time, but with merge tags added for their name, the salary package, etc. But let's say if it's in Zoho Recruit, you can send out offer letters. So you can send out invitation letters, etc. So by making use of a single template, you have the option to send out multiple emails or even save a copy of the document to your personal folder in work drive, etc. So this is how the process is. So it makes your process simpler and automated. So that's with data source. So once a merge template is created, so you'll have to input merge fields into the document. So as mentioned, we'll be discussing on how an event invitation is being created on Writer with use of a template. And we'll be making use of the following merge fields: for, the name, email, number. So these are plain fields, whereas you'll also have checkboxes. It will be inserting formulas and how to input formula references within the field itself, and how that process works. We'll also be inputting a dynamic table, so something like subforms, QR codes, and barcodes. You'll also have the option to set up document sequencing, like setting up the ticket number, and also we have the process of setting up a custom date, not just a normal date field, a custom date field. So starting with plain text, number, and email fields. So these are simple placeholders that will just replace the name, number, and email fields. So as mentioned, we'll be using of a Zoho Forms template here. So this is a Forms template that I've created for attendees who have signed up for Zoholics. So let's say someone is attending a Zoholics event and you want them to input the following information. So we'll just fill up the form first, and using this, I'll explain the template on how I've created and how it would look after merging. So first, name, an email address, followed by a number, the ticket type. So this is a radio button in which only one I'll be able to choose. So let me just choose partner, and a checkbox field in which whether I need an accommodation or not. So in this case, let me choose no. The number of attendees, let me just 2, 1, or person 2. So it also has another single line field which says if you're a partner, make use of the coupon code partner. So I'm going to put in that. So this is all they do. So just submit the form. But on Zoho Writer, let me show you what happens. So I've used multiple fields here, starting with the name field. So let me just give you a quick idea on how these fields were inserted. So you place a cursor on where you want the field to be inserted. So these are the fields that were available in the Zoho Forms form. So if I need the phone number to be inserted, all I have to do is just go to the fields option, click on phone. So that's it. The phone field will be added, and once it is merged, the phone number will be pulled up here. Simple as that. So all the fields or the placeholders that you have in Zoho Forms will be automatically pulled up to the Manage Fields option here. And if there are any subforms, they will also be pulled up. So subforms in the sense it will be a dynamic table. So based on the number of the number of attendees that you add to it, they will be added here. So there will be multiple attendees merged here. So once the data source is set up, all you have to do is set up the template and provide the fields here. So starting with name, so it will be a single line field. It will be just simply plain text. So if you click on the name field, you will have the option to edit the field settings. So if you can see, the format is plain text. They have multiple field settings. So there are some new as well, something like map, matrix choice, etc. We also have a checkbox field, so which I'll be explaining in my upcoming slides. All right. So this is a plain text field. So this will simply pull up the name of the person who has input it in the Zoho forms. So name. Next you have ticket type. So which should be in this case the partner. And accommodation. So we'll get to that once we discuss checkbox. So these are the simple fields that I've made use of in this specific template. And next we have the checkbox field. What I want here is, so if someone chooses accommodation no, this checkbox shouldn't be checked. Whereas if they choose it as yes, I want it to be checked. So previously, what users had to do is set up if else conditions, and based on the condition, if someone chooses yes, it will be automatically checked. So whereas with this new checkbox field, so under settings, under the field settings, so you can set up a checkbox, set the field type as checkbox, and if accommodation contains true, it will be automatically checked as yes. And if it isn't, it won't be checked. Simple as that. So it makes your job easier. So instead of you having to create and setting up if else conditions, so you can simply go to the field settings and set it up as a checkbox. A simple checkbox will be added, and based on the field accommodation, it will be chosen as true. So to repeat, so if someone chooses yes, it will be automatically checked, and if someone chooses no, it won't be checked. So instead of setting up a condition, you do this in a simple process. And up next, you have the formula fields. So I have something called as admits here, and I have renamed this specific formula as attendees. So if there are if I've input the number of attendees as 2, the total number of attendees would be 3, because the person who is booking the appointment along with 2 other attendees. So I want it to be 3. So what I'll have to do is, so I go to fields, choose formula, and input this specific formula here. Let me just edit it. So based on number of attendees, so the formula is equal to number of attendees plus 1. So it's a simple arithmetic operation here. So if someone has input 5 here, it will be just plus 1, and the total number would be 6. Simple as that. So once the merge is done, it will automatically provide you the answer with a specific formula that I've input. Very simple. And next, setting up a dynamic table using the subforms. So this is the main form that this user has done, and they also have a subform with multiple attendees within this. So based on the number of attendees, so I want this table to grow. So to do that, I have made use of a dynamic table. So under automate, you also have subforms, under which I'll have to choose attendees, choose attendee name, and I'll have to insert it as table rows, so that multiple rows are created along with the name of the attendees. So which is precisely what I've done here. So I've input a repeat table for the attendee name, so that once the merge is done, let me show you. So once the merge is done, all the name of the attendees will be pulled up along with the price that I've entered. So this is something that I've manually inputted to the template, so that I've chosen the price as 2000. So you can see the formula field has been pulled up, the name and partner, so which is a single plain text field. So accommodation is not checked, as I did not choose it in the form. The number has been pulled up, the person's name 1 and 2, along with the price. So you could see that I've used another formula here, so which is equals sum above, so which added both these. But let's say if I've chosen another person, so 3 persons, just the formula would have pulled up 6,000. A simple process. So adding, getting to the next field, so we have used formula referencing. So in the form, you could see that I have input of coupon code, which notes as partner. So what I want is, if someone inputs the coupon code as partner, I want it to automatically apply a 10% discount. To do this, so I've used the following formula here. So I've used an if-else condition. So if attendee list B3, which is this specific table. So I've referred this table in this formula. So if it contains attendee list B3 plus 2000 into 0.90, which would apply a 10% discount. So the condition here is, if the coupon code is not empty, or you can set it up as if coupon code contains partner, it should automatically apply this formula, that is the attendee list B3, this total value, the price, plus 2000, which is the price for the person who's booking the ticket. So the person who's booking the ticket added to the total number of attendees price into 0.90, which would apply a 10% discount. So if it is not empty, it would apply just the total value without any discounts. So at the end, it would just simply provide you the price. Let's say if I have another form in which I have not input the coupon code as partner, the price would be just directly 4,000. A simple process. So even in this specific attendees formula, I have so you would be wondering how to reference these merge fields. So all you have to do is just click on the plus, click on merge fields, and choose the field of your preference. But whereas if you'd like to refer a table cell itself, so you can choose this. So you'll have to choose the table and input the cell value. So in this case, I've input it as B3, which is exactly this one, B3. All right. So getting to the next one. So a custom date. Let's say you would like to input a custom date in the document, which would maybe show you the current date, or you would like to like add or subtract the date in the template document. So this is how you can do this. So cancel on or before 27 September. So this is 10 days before the day of the event for a complete refund. So to do this, so you go to fields, and under date, you have custom auto fields. So using which I've done this. So create a custom date field. So you can provide a name of your preference and subtract 10 days. So which will provide you this value. So based on the date that you have chosen, it would add or subtract based on the custom field that you have set up. So under date, so you also have today's date. So you have dynamic today's date, which would input the date of the merge or the created date of the document. So in this case, it's 4th April, or the last edited date, which is today. So this is the date that I've created. So even date minus 10 days, so which is input here. But let's say if you would like to customize it based on the date that you would choose, it's completely up to you. All right. So getting to the next one. So you have QR and barcode. This is the QR code that I've inserted. So inside insert, so you have barcode and then QR code. So let's choose QR code first. So you can configure the QR code based on your preference. So on scanning, this is what they will get. So if you just want to show a plain text, this is how you do it. But let's say in this specific event ticket, I've mapped the event's location. So if you scan this, it would automatically show you the event's location. So for that, all you have to do is just go to insert, click on QR code, choose it as web URL, and I've inserted the location using Google Maps. So once someone scans this, they'll be automatically redirected to the location of this specific event. So instead of you adding or sending the invite separately, so you can simply insert a QR code, which makes the job pretty much easier. And the barcodes case, so you go to insert, you go to barcode. So in most cases, it would be code 128. So this barcode would vary based on each and every ticket that you create. So I've input the value as ticket number. All right, so the ticket number is a field that I created, which you can find on the top. So this was done using document sequencing. So we're getting there. So document sequencing. All right. So I've provided a name as ticket number. So I've set the prefix as Zoholics, which would show you Zoholics, and the number starts from a specific number. So based on the number of tickets that are created, so it starts with the specific number. So let's say I've chosen 20 attendees. So the ticket number would vary for all these merges. So it the number would cross from 1826, 1827, and henceforth. And if needed, you can also add a suffix as well. So the ticket number would be auto-generated. So this is the ticket number. And for the next user, the ticket number would vary. And the barcode itself is based on the document sequencing that I've done. So as you can see, so I've used the field a ticket number here. Simple as that. And for document sequencing, so you got to create field and like choose the type as document sequencing. Let me show you that. And getting the next one, configuring the output. So based on the data source that I have chosen, you can configure the output of your preference. Before that, the document sequence, under fields, you have document sequence. So this is the one that you have created, so ticket number, etc. And if you'd like to create a new one, you choose create document sequence. And this will be input into the specific point where you have placed the cursor in. Right? Okay, and getting back to choosing output, so you have the following options. So you can merge and save these as individual files, so which will automatically save each and every template into a new document based on the number of attendees that you would have. And you can choose the location it needs to be saved to. So it can be within your WorkDrive account in a specific location. You can also choose the format it needs to be saved to. So it can be writer, so it could be a fillable writer document, could be a PDF document, or a fillable PDF form as well, or even a MS Word file. And after the merge, you also have the option to execute a custom function, which you can configure from here. And you can also input functions from the gallery, which is already pre-built, and we'll also be adding more into this. And next up, you have merge and send via email, so which we're doing currently. So we have set up the from address. So this is also configurable. You can also set up an organization email address after you're setting up the DMARC policy. You can set the name for the sender. So the email address field that is fetched from Zoho Forms. So you can set up the subject. You can send the email as inline or as an attachment, or even send it as a link. So in this specific example, I'm using it as an attachment, and I'm naming the attachment with the name of the attendee along with today's date. So the process here is click on the plus icon, click on name, and then date. So the document would be named in the specific file name. And the file type is also chosen based on your preference. You have three options here. So you'll be able to set up a message, and if needed, you can also add additional attachments. So this specific form merge would be done based on when the form is submitted. So on form submission. So what I'm going to do is I'll share the form with you in the meeting webinar chat here. So I would request everyone to fill in this form. So once the form is done, the merge would automatically appear. And once the merge is done, you'll have the option, or like based on the email address that you have input, it would be sent to a specific email address so that you'll be able to see the process in action. So I've shared it in the Q&A broadcast to all option. So just try it out. So in the meantime, we'll get to the other ones. So we have merge and send collection. So this is one option where you'll be able to send the document for sign collection. So you can set up multiple signers. You can provide a subject, a message. So just as how you had it in merge and send via email, you can set the name of the document or even send additional attachments. So under advanced settings, you can set up reminders and based on how you need it. So we'll also have another webinar on the sign collection and fillable templates as well. So which will help you in the process. We also have pre-recorded webinars in our website. So which gets in depth about fillable templates and signer templates as well. So it would be easier for you. We have the options to push the data that we have collected to Zoho Sheet, which would not come into play in this specific template. Or you can allow the respondent to download the document. So like, it would be easier in this case as well. So if you select this option, the person who inputs the form will be able to download the document. All right. And so just like how you are able to configure custom functions directly once merge and save as individual files was done, you can also do it directly using merge and invoke custom function. Or you can merge and send it as a form. This would come into play if you use fillable templates. But in this specific template, so the main output configuration is done via merge and send via email. So if someone has submitted the form, so I would be able to view it, and you would get it as an email. So getting to the next one, so merge, how the initiation process works, or how you'd be able to view the logs. And so let's say if you're looking to merge the document and you would like to preview it once before merging it. So just get an idea of how it would work. So you just simply click on preview merge and you get an idea. All right. But if you're looking to initiate the merge, the type of merge, so you can choose when to merge it. So manually on trigger, so which would help you click on run merge, or you can schedule it based on the time of your preference. So let's say if you wanted to send it based on 1 day before the event, you can do that here. Or simply on form submission, which I've done. To just click on save settings. If someone has initiated the merging process, I can simply use it or view it from the view logs option. All right, so I would suggest you to make use of the public template, the form template that I've shared it in the meeting, the first part of the webinar. So next we have what do we have planned for our upcoming mail merge features. So starting with test mode. So test mode allows you to run a document merge with sample data for you to check your final layouts before you go into production. So with test mode, you can run any number of times without consuming any automation credits. And next you have select and repeat. So you can select an existing table with rows and columns to convert it as a repeat subform table. And you can also repeat multiple rows and columns using this. And next you have conditional attachment. So you can, based on the condition set, you can use an attachment. You have select and repeat a block for merge. So this can be done based on the merges that needs to be repeated. So it is completely set up in the merge template itself. And next you have aggregation within the dynamic tables. And also we have merge and generate pre-filled forms. So this is what you have planned in the product roadmap. All right, so we have come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this webinar today.